Small towns, peaceful, quiet, friendly, places where everyone knows your name and life moves at a slower pace. But sometimes, beneath that picture-perfect charm, hides something sinister. A darkness that lingers in the air, a chill that runs down your spine, dark pasts, haunted streets, and secrets no one dares to speak about. From cursed villages to unsolved mysteries, join me as we journey across America to uncover the unsettling stories behind 6 of the creepiest small towns. Places where the past never truly rests, and where the line between fact and folklore blurs into something truly unsettling. From cursed villages to unsolved mysteries, today we're exploring 6 of the creepiest small towns in America, places where the past never truly rests. Our first stop takes us to a place that looks straight out of a nightmare, Centralia, Pennsylvania. A town that's been burning for over 60 years. Imagine, if you will, a place where the very ground beneath your feet could give way at any moment, swallowing you into a fiery abyss. It began in 1962, a seemingly insignificant fire in the town's coal mines. No one thought much of it at first. Coal fires were not uncommon in these parts. But this fire was different. It refused to be tamed. Like a hungry beast, the fire spread beneath the entire town, devouring everything in its path. Toxic smoke billowed from cracks in the earth, swallowing streets whole and turning this once thriving community into a desolate wasteland. Over the years, Centralia became unlivable. Buildings were abandoned, their paint peeling like sunburnt skin. Families were forced to leave their homes, their roots ripped from the earth just as surely as the fire had ripped through their town. Today, fewer than 5 people remain in this ghost town, clinging to the remnants of a life long gone. They wander amongst the skeletal remains of buildings, the silence broken only by the whisper of the wind and the ever-present rumble of the fire below. Scientists say the fire could burn for another 250 years. A stark reminder that even in the face of such relentless destruction, nature will always have the last word. Deep in the forests of Connecticut lies a place shrouded in unsettling tales and whispered warnings, Dudleytown. Founded in the 1700s, it was intended as a peaceful farming village, a place where families could build a life. But fate, it seemed, had other plans for Dudleytown. From the very beginning, misfortune plagued the fledgling community. Crops withered and died, livestock fell ill under mysterious circumstances, and the townspeople themselves began to vanish without a trace. Fear took root, whispering its way through the once hopeful streets. Legends spread like wildfire, blaming the town's namesake, the Dudley family. It was said they brought a curse with them from England, a dark shadow that followed them across the ocean and poisoned their new home. Whether the curse was real or simply a product of fear and desperation, the outcome remains the same. By the early 1900s, Dudleytown was deserted, its homes left to decay and be reclaimed by the encroaching forest. Today, the very name Dudleytown is enough to send shivers down the spines of locals. Those who dare to venture into the abandoned village speak of strange whispers carried on the wind and shadowy figures lurking at the edge of the trees. A chilling reminder that some places are best left undisturbed. Our journey takes us now to the sun-baked hills of California, where the ghost town of Bodie stands frozen in time. Once a bustling boomtown fueled by the insatiable hunger for gold, Bodie is now a haunting reminder of the fleeting nature of fortune. Picture, if you can, the year 1880. Bodie is at its peak, a lawless town overflowing with miners, saloon keepers, and fortune seekers from all walks of life. The streets are alive with the sounds of laughter, music, and gunfire. For in Bodie, violence was as common as the dust that swirled through the air. Murders were commonplace, their victims quickly forgotten in the relentless pursuit of riches. The law held little sway here, and those who dared to challenge the town's ruthless hierarchy often met with untimely ends. But just as quickly as it rose, Bodie fell. The gold veins ran dry, and the town that had once pulsed with life slowly began to bleed out its inhabitants. By the 1940s, Bodie was all but deserted, its buildings left to the mercy of the elements. Today, visitors to Bodie claim to feel unseen eyes watching them, their footsteps echoing through the empty streets like whispers from the past. Many believe the spirits of Bodie's violent past still linger, trapped between this world and the next. And there's a chilling footnote to Bodie's story. Legend has it that anyone who dares to take an artifact from Bodie Even a tiny rock is cursed. Misfortune, tragedy, and even death are said to follow those who disturb the town's eerie peace. A stark warning that some treasures are best left undisturbed. At first glance, Skidmore, Missouri might seem like any other small town in America, but beneath its unassuming facade lies a dark secret, a chilling tale that continues to haunt its residents to this day. Our story begins in 1981, when Skidmore fell under the tyranny of a man named Ken McElroy. A bully, a thief, a man who ruled through fear and intimidation. He stole, he threatened, he even shot at people, leaving a trail of misery in his wake. Despite numerous arrests, McElroy always walked free, seemingly untouchable. The law, it seemed, had no power over him. The people of Skidmore lived in fear, their lives held hostage by this one man's reign of terror. But even the darkest of clouds eventually break. On July 10, 1981, as McElroy sat in his truck, a crowd gathered around him. Moments later, the silence was shattered by the sound of gunshots. When the smoke cleared, McElroy was dead, slumped over the steering wheel. Justice, it seemed, had been served. But here's where the story takes a truly chilling turn. Despite dozens of witnesses, no one was ever arrested for McElroy's murder. To this day, the people of Skidmore remain tight-lipped about that fateful day. A wall of silence surrounds the event, a chilling testament to the deep-seated fear that still grips this small town. Was it an act of vigilante justice, a spontaneous uprising against a tyrant, or was it something more calculated, a conspiracy of silence that speaks volumes about the darkness that can fester even in the most unassuming of places? The truth, it seems, remains buried deep within the heart of Skidmore. Imagine, if you will, a town slowly being devoured by the very element that gave it life. That is the tragic fate of Kaskaskia, Illinois, a place where the relentless power of nature has erased a once thriving community from the map. Founded in 1703, Kaskaskia was more than just a town. It was a beacon of civilization in a vast wilderness. It served as Illinois' very first capital, a symbol of progress and prosperity. But the mighty Mississippi River, the lifeblood of so many communities, had other plans for Kaskaskia. A series of devastating floods began to chip away at the town's edges, slowly but surely reclaiming the land it had once surrendered to human ambition. Homes were swallowed by the rising waters, businesses were forced to close their doors, and the townspeople faced a heartbreaking choice: stay and fight an unwinnable battle, or abandon their homes and seek higher ground. By the 1880s, Kaskaskia had become an island, cut off from the mainland by the ever-encroaching river. The once bustling streets were now eerily quiet, the sound of children's laughter replaced by the lapping of water against abandoned buildings. Today, fewer than 20 people remain in Kaskaskia, clinging to the remnants of their heritage like survivors of a shipwreck clinging to driftwood. They are living testaments to the enduring spirit of humanity, but also stark reminders of the ephemeral nature of our presence on this planet. As you stand on the banks of the Mississippi and gaze out at the few remaining buildings of Kaskaskia, you can almost hear the echoes of the past whispering on the wind. A poignant reminder that even the grandest of civilizations are but a grain of sand in the vastness of time. Our final destination takes us deep into the heartland of America, to the seemingly unremarkable state of Kansas. But hidden within its vast plains lies a mystery that has baffled researchers and fueled countless campfire stories for decades: the strange case of Ashley, Kansas. According to local legend, Ashley was a small town like any other, its residents going about their daily lives unaware of the strange fate that awaited them. Then, in 1952, disaster struck. A massive earthquake, the likes of which had never been seen before in Kansas, ripped through the region. When rescue teams finally reached Ashley's supposed location, they were met with an unsettling sight, or rather, the lack of one. Ashley was simply gone. No ruins, no survivors, no trace that a town had ever existed in that spot. It was as if some unseen hand had wiped it clean off the face of the earth. Some believe Ashley was built atop a hidden fault line, and the earthquake swallowed the town whole. Others whisper of government conspiracies and secret experiments gone wrong. But perhaps the most unsettling theory of all is that Ashley was never meant to be found. The only piece of evidence that suggests Ashley might have existed at all is a chilling phone call. As the story goes, Operators at a nearby switchboard received a frantic call from a resident of Ashley, their voice filled with terror as they described the ground shaking and buildings collapsing around them. And then, silence. The line went dead, and Ashley, along with its inhabitants, was never heard from again. Whether Ashley was a real town or simply a figment of our collective imagination, its story serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of our existence. For in the grand scheme of things, we are all just passing through, our time on this earth fleeting and precious. And so our journey through America's creepiest small towns comes to an end. But the stories remain, echoing through the abandoned streets and whispering on the wind. Which of these tales sent shivers down your spine? Have you ever visited a place with a dark secret, a place where the past refuses to stay buried? If you enjoyed this journey into the shadows, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into the unknown. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, remember, sometimes the most unsettling stories are the ones that are true. Which of these small towns creeps you out the most? Have you ever visited a place with a dark secret? Let us know in the comments. And if you love eerie stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More terrifying mysteries are coming soon.